Yeah, I know. It says I'm live. I'm not quite ready. Sorry. I got down here a little bit late. I was trying to link my computer to my phone so I could show you pictures, but apparently I forgot a password. I thought I wrote it down. It's chaos. It's chaos. Whoa, what the hell's going on with that? That's not great. That was really wanky. It's just chaos, but we know that, right? So, um, so I had a fun day today. Fun day. How's everyone doing, by the way? How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday night. I did not go to see Paul McCartney, as I said. The backstage tickets for $300 to $500, and I was not going to spend that much money. So I listened to a little bit of the Beatles. I checked out a set list. There you go. That. Um, but today was another hateful day. I was down at the building, and the last two big lots left. So a guy came with a truck and took, I don't know what, 8 filing cabinets, four desks, like cabinets, stuff in the back. I mean, it's empty, and I have all the pictures. It's great. Um, the best part of the day was though that the guy that runs the auction was kind of in a hurry and was moving fast, and we were moving something out the door, and he pinched my finger between the wall, a steel desk edge, and the steel and the wall edge. And I believe you can't see it, but I believe my finger is broken. And I mean like gross broken. I got it is all chaos. Like I heard the bone crunch right at the fingertip. It's like right here on my finger. I can't feel it. And if I touch the bottom, it's like bite my finger pain. I did not get an x-ray, but I may have to get one tomorrow. It's nothing I can do. I read everything about it. I was a medic. It's not like they can splint it. I mean, I can just cover it so I don't bang it. But if the bone's broken inside, it's the tip of the phalange. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I can bend it. It's not the bend part. It's just like the little tip part that's in there. So yeah, it's killing me. I'm like, it hurts so bad. I have not experienced good pain like that in a long time. That was like excruciating, like I'm gonna walk away for a second pain. So yeah, so I got that. Every time I bang it, I'm like, oh, like I can't grab things, and it's just throbbing. Anyway, so I had that going on, and then uh, uh, after I left that, I visited with a couple of old friends from ski club. Old officers back when one came in from Indiana, one's here in Columbus, and I just happened to they let me know we were here, and I ran into them, and we chatted about the ski club days, the epic ski club days. Now, see, I don't remember all the events, all the details of some of the trips, and these guys sort of filled in something like, oh God, remember this, remember this, and remember this, remember the photograph that I have of me jumping off the North Rim and. They're like, that was like an 18-foot drop. I'm like, yeah, of course it was. I was like, it's like, did you ski out of it? Like, no, no, I did not ski out of that. I said, it just took the balls enough to jump 18 feet into snow. Just ski like, so yeah, so we did that. And yes, and then I was working on the computer stuff and doing this stuff and all of that. So it was a wonderful day. It was a beautiful, beautiful, hateful Saturday once again, just getting rid of the crap. So I'm just about ready to start spray painting. So now the task is to clean it, to sort what's left. And there's so much left. Oh my God, there's so much left. I can't even tell you how much is left. It's gross. There's just so much. I don't know what to do with it. It was a 10,000 foot man cave or 10,000 square foot man cave. I mean, that's what it was. It was my playroom for, 15 years in that building. So there's just shit, just so much stuff. So yeah, at some point I'm just gonna have to give stuff away. I won't be able to, I will run out of time trying to sell it. I'm just gonna have to give it away and be like, here, take a box of Modelo swag, like a bucket. Just take it. Just do something with it. Give it to kids on campus. I have a whole cabinet left of like Operation and Plinko and all these things. Oh, someone took the Plinko board today. My very famous made Plinko board. He was like, this is awesome. So you may see it at one of these like mini golf places. He's like, oh, I own a mini golf place in Dublin. I was like, perfect. I was like, I'm sure somebody's going to be like, wait, that looks like the one from, yes. And the prize wheels, they went too. So it's just, yeah, today was that day that I was just like, fuck. Anyway, it's all gone. And here we are. That should make working on projects extra fun. It does. I mean, just being here is extra fun. And I heard a crunch. I mean, I really did. It was gross. I mean, it was like, I'm like, oh, so yeah, I got that going for me. Anyway, all right. So episode 161, the 200th episode will be on December the 17th. Sure. There you go. That's what we're striving for. We're striving for 200 now. That's what we're driving at. And of course, now that the auction is done, now I have to sell the property. It's not sold. People are like, oh, I thought you sold it. I'm like, no, I have not. Until I stop bitching about not selling the building, I still have that building and that property. It's still there. I'm still responsible for it. I still have to pay for it. Taxes, mortgage. Well, I don't have electricity, electric, or gas anymore, so I don't have to pay for those at least. Just the bills. So, anyway, I'll roll through my stuff. There's a story that I'll stop at somewhere in here. I forget what it was about. Maybe a couple of them. There's a couple stories I think that are in here on stuff. Things that happened along the way that relate to the events and the bands and such. So there you go. 1974, Elton John released Greatest Hits, his 11th studio album. Now, 74 is 11 albums. That was like 10 years. So was he banging an album out a year? I mean, Jesus, that's pretty prolific. Bernie must have been working overtime. 1990, Chris Isaak released his single, Wicked Games. Now, we met Chris Isaak a couple times at the station. He was actually a really cool cat. He hung around and talked to us for a while. And I always remember Chris Isaak was just very sure, hang out. Yeah, this is great. I don't have to do sound check for 2 hours. Let's chill. Want to go to something to eat? Let's just, so what's going on? What do you guys do? Tell me about radio. Tell me about Columbus, Ohio. So he was very inquisitive. Remember, he was one of those artists that was just really genuine, kind of just a nice guy. Just yeah, I can hang out with Chris Isaak. He could be my friend. You got a buddy named Chris Isaak. So, yeah, that was a nice thing. 1993, David Bowie released his 19th studio album, The Buddha of Suburbia. He released it in Europe and in the UK, but he didn't release it in the US for almost 2 years. I didn't understand why. I went to look a little bit, but I was kind of bored early on tonight, so I didn't do too much research. That's why I was like, yeah, this happened, and I kind of moved on. I was like, yeah, I just wasn't, feeling it because I was distracted because, one, I couldn't find a good pen. So I started with a green pen. No, green didn't work. And then I started with this pen, and that one didn't work. And I ended with this pen, and I hated it. So I guarantee you, tomorrow, since I have to go meet some people in the morning, I'm going to go down to the building tomorrow with some people. I think they're going to help me film my short video, or I'm going to give them a bunch of crap, or I'm going to make them move stuff, even be like, hey, so sort this pile. Let's do this. So I may do that too. If you're watching, you know who you are. But yeah, I have to get better pens tomorrow. I absolutely will find. I will go buy at least 4 or 5 different types until I find the perfect pen that I love, because I can't hold it right now, and it's uncomfortably weird to write with my finger out, because you can't just move this finger up and out and hold things. I found out. Anyway, 1994, Sonny Bono is elected to Congress by the California voters. Now, we talked about the other day, he was reelected in 96, I guess it was a 2-year term to the U.S. Congress, or maybe it was 92? I don't know. Anyway, he was reelected to Congress a couple days ago, years ago, but whatever. But hey, this is the first time he was elected to be a congressman, Sonny Bono. Congressman Bono. But again, I think he died hitting a tree skiing. I think that's how he went. I didn't Google it, so I forgot to. 2005, Neil Diamond, not Young, but Diamond, released his 26th studio album. 26 in 2005. 12 songs, and it was produced by Rick Rubin. It was his most commercially successful and critically acclaimed album of his career. So Rick Rubin helped good old Neil Diamond do his thing. Jumping backwards to 1966, politics meets movies, or vice versa. Ronald Reagan is elected to be the governor of California. And that's where it all started. Ronald Reagan, celebrities in places of power. And just think, he did a movie called Bedtime for Bonzo, and his co-star was a freaking monkey. I'm just saying, it's truth, people. 1952, the first ever UK chart was published. 53 record shops were asked to disclose and divulge their sales returns. Here in My Heart by Al Martino was the very first number one in the UK. The song stayed at the number one spot for 9 weeks. Spot? Number one spot for 9 weeks. I have no idea. I didn't listen to it. I didn't get the phone out to start listening until about halfway through. So that one I didn't do. 1958, I did listen to this. I'm going to admit it. 1958, the soundtrack for South Pacific. South Pacific, the play, the musical, the movie, went to number one on the UK album chart. It became the longest number one album ever to chart. Ever. It stayed in the top spot for 115 weeks. Okay, that's pretty damn good if you think about that. The number one spot for 115 weeks. And South Pacific's kind of a cool thing. And I was in the South Pacific play, but that was another one of those high school plays. You know, I do remember the songs. So, I mean, that was a good, it was a good musical back then. South Pacific. Oh. 1965. The Beatles, George Harrison, Rubber Soul, One Take, Something. I didn't care enough about the song to write any of the details down. This is about when my brain faded. But the next one is that 1969, Something, the first Beatles A-side written by George Harrison, or composed by George Harrison, started a UK single peaking at number 4. Now, in the UK, it only went to number 4. It went to number 1 in the US. The song has been covered by over 150 artists, and it's only second to the song Yesterday, which has been covered by more artists. It's a good song. I like that George Harrison composed song, Something. 1971, Led Zeppelin releases their 4th album without a printed title. It just has the 4 symbols on it, which it's known as Led Zeppelin 4 or the 4 Symbols. It sold over 37 million copies. We'll get to Led Zeppelin at the end of this as well. 1972, Lou Reed has his 2nd album, Transformer, released, and it's produced by David Bowie. Now, it's considered a landmark for glam rock albums. And the album, it sort of ascended Reed's most successful single, Walk on the Wild Side, which touched on very, very touchy subjects and controversial topics in the day, which they still are, of sexual orientation, gender identity, prostitution, and drug use. So if you've never listened to Walk on the Wild Side, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, hey, babe, take a walk on the wild side. Miami, FLA, hitchhiked his way across the USA. 1974, David Bowie made his US TV debut performing Fame on Cher's variety show. Cher had a variety show. Sonny and Cher, but Cher herself had one after, I guess, Sonny wasn't there anymore. It was on CBS TV. Bowie, who was living in New York City at the time, apparently collabed on the song Fame with John Lennon when they were basically hanging out and doing a jam session one afternoon. I'm just going to hang out with Lennon today. We'll write some music. I mean, I just hang out with people and talk about crappy stories about my ski club glory days. 1980, Kiss kicked off their 11-day unmasked tour in Australia and New Zealand. They also played 2 nights in the sold-out Perth Entertainment Centre. It got sloppy there because this is when I hit my finger when I was moving a pen, and I kind of stopped and I was like, wrote really poorly. 1986, the band Berlin started a 4-week run at number 1 on the UK singles chart with Take My Breath Away. The song was featured on the Tom Cruise movie hit Top Gun. It won an Academy Award for Best Original Song, as well as a Golden Globe for Best Original Song that year, 1986. Take My Breath Away. Oh, Berlin. I like some of their other stuff, but I guess that one's okay. Running in the Metro. That's the one that we always played. 2001, Gorillaz won Best Song for Clint Eastwood at the MTV Music Awards. Now, my story of the MTV Music Awards is as follows. So, I've not really shared this story widely. Now that I'm out of the industry, it doesn't matter, I guess. So, I went to the MTV Music Awards. We flew to New York to go check out the awards. And went to it, whatever. And then I was told by a friend that, okay, there's going to be an after party, and we have a suite at this hotel. I was like, awesome. So we go up to the hotel. Now, this hotel, this was $5,000 a night for the room. I shit you not. It had 2 floors. It had a grand piano in it. I mean, it had like this huge half spiral staircase. It had bedrooms and living rooms and a giant wraparound balcony. It was the top half of the top of this hotel. It was insane. It was literally $5,000 for the night. So it's supposed to be this big, huge after show party after the awards. There was a very famous band that was going to come. So apparently at the last minute, the plans got canceled or changed and the band decided to go somewhere else. Now we still had this room and was like, okay, well, what are we going to do with this room? And like, what are we going to do? So the record rep that we were hanging out with, basically I was like, okay, well, we should throw a party then and invite people. So that's what we did. I was from the area, so I called a bunch of my friends that lived in New York and New Jersey. I'm like, hey, so what are you doing tonight? Because after this thing, we're going to have a party in New York. I've got a hotel room to hang out at, but it's a little bit of a bigger hotel. So basically then we got on the horn because we had this giant budget too. So I got on the horn and started calling, like, I was like, hey, can catering bring up cases of glassware? And can you bring up, and like, local liquor store. These guys brought up literally hand trucks of booze, boop, and like glasses and a whole bar set up. And we invited a bunch of people and rock stars and everyone else to hang out. And we created this impromptu, like after MTV Awards party in this hotel. And it was crazy, crazy through the night. I remember when I woke up in the morning, at some point the sun was up and the place was pretty much empty. There was not a flat surface that did not have a glass on it. Every flat surface, every countertop, every table, any end of anything that had an empty glass on it or a half-filled glass or something sitting on it everywhere because they brought a lot of glassware. And I remember ordering room service. I ordered French toast and scrambled eggs and coffee. And I sat on the balcony and just ate French toast. It was just me and the record rep. That was all that was left. Everyone else had like passed out or there was people just crashed or whatever. And I just was sitting eating. The cleaning crew came, and I'll never forget this. It was like 10 of them. And they came in, and like the first person came in and they like Every glass they just took and dumped it into a 5-gallon bucket and put it right back down where they picked it up. Boop, 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 and like walked through like this machine. The second one came through with a third person, and they picked up every glass and put it into little like dishwasher holders, like click, 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 click. Third person came through, started wiping down the surfaces, like 50. It was just crazy because they were just like this. They snaked through the rooms and the floors, and just it was clean. Like as I was eating breakfast, you kind of watched this machine occur, and the room was completely spotless. I was like, wow, that was crazy. But yes, we got in no trouble for it. The budget was already set. But yeah, we spent like $10,000 for a one-night party where the band that was supposed to be there didn't show up because they changed plans at the last minute. And I still won't say who it was. I want to protect the innocent because I still know these people that work for the label. I don't want to get them in trouble. But yeah, that was just one of those crazy ass things where just, yeah, here you go. Take all this money. Do whatever you want with it. I was like, okay, what should we do with this budget? And we did. We did exactly that. We spent a lot of money on a very, very small portion of people. It was exponentially more expensive per person than it probably should have been. But that was all right. I do remember drinking really good champagne, though, like Dom Perignon. Because we were like, why not? Order it. It's on the budget. 2007, 4 men were arrested for suspicion of perverting the course of justice. That's the words. Perverting the course of justice. This happened in Camden, London. The house that the men were arrested at was owned by Amy Winehouse, and the arrests were made in connection to a court case involving Miss Winehouse's husband, didn't know she was married, Blake Fielder Civil. And apparently it was involved with this Blake guy. He was facing charges of causing grievous bodily harm. You can tell it's London because it's all these like, seriously, perverting the course of justice. Like, isn't that obstructing justice? And grievous bodily harm. Like, really? I mean, is bodily harm grievous versus less grievous? I'm just curious. That's just me. 2008, AC/DC started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. album chart with Black Ice. It was their 15th studio album. It was the second best-selling album of 2008, and Black Ice went on to be #1 in 29 countries. I just saw today that AC/DC is going to play the Ohio Stadium on July the 26th of next year. Really? We were talking about that today. The first show that happened at the Ohio State University Stadium was Pink Floyd. And I worked at that show. When they came to all the bars, because we got to work both of them, but they came to all the bars. The management said, hey, any bartenders, any bouncers that want to work, you're automatically hired. So I worked the stage. I worked, right with the stage to my back, standing there like, hey, here's the band. What's up? As they were behind us with pink shirts. But that was the first show at Ohio State. But then I think it was in 1988. They played in 82, May of 82, I believe is when 88. 88? I think so. But the funny story is afterwards, all the bouncers, I worked with some animals at the bars on campus. This was back in the day where if you got in a line, they would, kick your ass. That was the old school bouncers, the ex-football players, and these guys, some of them were just ridiculous. I mean, I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. These guys were, like linebackers, 6'6", 300 pounds, just monsters, just, after this event, we went to a party. It was up the street on 13th Avenue near the fairgrounds, all the way to the train tracks. So not a great neighborhood, just off campus a little bit, but sort of where it gets sketchy, to say the least. And these guys were, this was like a rage house where all these guys were a bunch of big roid heads that lived there, and they were all bouncers, and they they were infamous for just being, I would say violent, a little bit off the off the reservation when it came to being bouncers, and they were throwing televisions out of the window of the third floor. The whole room was stacked with televisions, and it was tube toss, tube, and they were like, "Wah!" and throw them into the front yard, like smashing, exploding glass everywhere. These are big, the big CRT tubes, not these flat screens that weigh nothing. And they plugged them in too, because the extension cord had to go with it, so they had to explode when they did. There was another guy who was rappelling off the side of the building. Hand to God. So we're inside, and it is loud. The music is just thumping. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock. I don't know what time it was. It was late, and it is loud, and it is just, just crazy crap going on. Like they're blowing shit up in the backyard with acetylene balloons, like putting them in garbage cans and blowing them up. I mean, this is Animal House at its finest. Cops come banging on the door. The guy whose house it is, Grant. Grant is like 6'9", like 300 pounds. He's got long curly hair, and he looks like just something out of a movie. Like he really does. Just like, oh, dude. I mean, he's 6'8". He's like, you look up to, I mean, unless you're as tall as him, you look up at him like, hi. So I recanted the story tonight because it's one of those things you just never forget. He hears the door banging, kind of looks and sees there's a police car out front. So he's like, shut up. And everyone just stops and looks at Grant, and Grant was like, no one says a word. He just opens the door, and everyone's just staying there. He just opens the door, and he's like, good evening, officer. How can I help you? And this cop just was like, looks up at Grant and kind of looks past. And again, it's just, everyone's in pink shirts. Remember, we're all wearing pink shirts from the concert because we all had these Pink Floyd, bright pink shirts that were for security. And he just kind of looks past him. And now realize he walked through the front yard, and it was shin deep in broken televisions. Like glass and cabinets and just wires and just shit everywhere. And he's like, we got a report of some people throwing TVs out of a window and rappelling off a building. And Grant doesn't even miss a beat. He goes, have you guys seen anybody throwing TVs or rappelling off a building? And everyone's like, no. And he's like, I'm sorry, officer, we don't have any information of that, right? And we're like, no, we know nothing about that. It's just kind of murmur. So and Grant just stands there with this shit-eating grin on his face, and the cop just kind of looks past him. He looks at him, and okay, well, you guys have a great rest of your night. We're like, okay, close the door, and he's like, go, and just the music goes back on like nothing ever happened. And I'll just always remember that because it was just this most surreal, 2-minute interaction with the police ever. They just beat on the door and literally open the door to oh, okay, we'll just, sure, everything seems to be fine. We'll just be going now. So, yeah, you have to love that. That was just one of those things. All right, I'm going to change cameras because this one's going to go ahead and see. Oh, look at that. I got it as it went off. I love it. Didn't do it, Todd. Didn't catch me tonight. Remember Randsanity? That's coming. Promise. Because as soon as I get done with this one house and I sell the building, I'll have time to do stuff during the day. So, that was my Ohio Stadium Pink Floyd story. There was other things that went on that evening that involved and revolved around that party, but that was the insane highlights. But literally the cops walking through the pathway, and I am not kidding you. The entire front yard is glass and broken cabinets of TVs that these guys were just throwing from the third floor window, plugged in as they're exploding, and it's like, ah! I was like, perfect. And these are the guys I work with. No wonder. I was just happy to not be thrown out the window myself because I'm, again, at 6'2", was one of the smaller guys because I was not all raged out. So, yeah, this was This is the fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fun stuff that I dealt with. So AC/DC, the Horseshoe in July. All right, we'll see. November 8th in 2009, Morrissey stopped a concert halfway through his second song. The 50-year-old singer was hit by a plastic beer bottle in the eye. Morrissey stopped, looked at the crowd, said goodnight to the 8,000 plus people crowd in Liverpool, England, and walked off the stage. Good night. I'm out. I mean, what do you do? I'm assuming that the people on the floor or whatever that saw the person throw said plastic beer bottle kicked his ass, I would imagine. I mean, you know, anytime you see someone throw something at a concert, you know, someone sees it happen, you know, not just the person, because, you know, there's not a lot of room. So making that arm motion, someone standing goes like, "Hey, what are you?" So assuming that that's what canceled the show, I'm sure that guy got his ass kicked by whomever. I mean, I would be all pissed off if I saw, dude, what do you do? You can't hit Morrissey. You canceled the show. This guy canceled the show. Right? I mean, it's the only way. Come on. That gang mentality is perfect. It's the exact time for, you know, vigilante vengeance, right? At a concert where you're supposed to be having a good time and someone spoils it by throwing a beer bottle and hitting Morrissey in the eye. 2016, Adele's rich. She's the richest Brit star under 30, beating One Direction, kicking him off the top of the list. I didn't care how much. It doesn't matter, does it? It's a big deal. She's rich. Yay, love Adele. Hate Adele. Doesn't matter. It's just info. 1988, REM releases their sixth studio album, Green, which has the singles and multiple hits: Orange Crush, Stand, Pop Song 89, and Get Up. All hit singles. Not too shabby. It went on to 11-month tour from that, and we got a cease and desist from REM because we used their logo for something, and they said it was too close to what it was, and we got a cease and desist at the radio station. Twice from REM, actually. REM got us twice. We liked their art. What can I say? I think this was early on. This was the thing. This was early on. So in 88, this was, you know, the station only been going for, was it? No, wait, it didn't start. Oh, yeah, I think so. So the station started in 1990. So this was early on. So the station was just sort of in its infancy. So we didn't really know the finer points about using artwork when, you know, bands might get upset. So yeah, we used that one early on. I got a cease and desist from that one. I think that was our very first one. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I guess we shouldn't use this anymore. It happened. 1974, Queen released its third studio album, Sheer Heart Attack. Now, on the single from that was Killer Queen. It was number 2 in the UK, and the album made it to number 12 in the US, and it was considered one of the best glam rock albums of all time, along with glam rock Lou Reed. 1968, Dusty Springfield single, Son of a Preacher Man, was number 9 on the UK and number 10 in the US. It had a new revival, though, in 1994 with the release of Pulp Fiction, where Dusty was again featured on that. And the re-release was number 1 in 1995 in Iceland. In Iceland, of all places. And in 1971, Led Zeppelin from Led Zeppelin 4 releases their single Stairway to Heaven. The number 4 of the album, Stairway to Heaven. Regarded as one of the best rock songs of all times. Voted number 3 by like Rolling Stone's best 100 songs of all times. Blah, blah, blah. Accolades, accolades, accolades. Don't play Stairway to Heaven in the guitar section when you're testing guitars because they say no Stairway to Heaven requests. And all of the above. All right, so born on this day then is Ricky Lee Jones with the song Chucky's in Love. Remember that? Chucky's in Love. Mm-hmm. Pearl Thompson of The Cure, birthday today. Terry Lee, I believe it's spelled like Mihril, Morale of Adamant. Gordon Ramsay, the angry chef, is 59 today. Tara Reid from Sharknado. Tara Reid, come on. Really? What a train wreck. Her birthday today. And Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son Jack. Don't know much about Jack, only what I've seen on TV. People that we lost today, Dan McCaffrey of Nazareth. Love hurts. And Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek, 5 years. We lost him in 2020. Can you believe it's been 5 years since Alex Trebek died? He was 80 when he died, so it wasn't like he was young, but he was still making it happen. Good old Trebekian. I haven't seen Jeopardy since then, probably. I guess it was kind of his thing, you know? I think they've tried to have a few other people do it, but it just doesn't have the same kind of punch. Trebek was the dude, you know? Just that sort of nonchalant kind of like, yeah, I know the answer. Fuck off. I think that had everything to do with it. His delivery of like, yeah, I knew that. No one had to tell me. I know all the answers. I don't need cue cards. I'm Alex fucking Trebek. All right. Well, let's see. So that was episode 161 of Randsanity. My finger is just fucking killing me. I'm not going to lie. I don't like to bitch about that, but wow. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Like I said, I may have to get it x-rayed. It's not swollen. Well, I guess it is actually swollen. Like a little bit. Yeah, see, that's definitely swollen. And it's got a weird little bend to it. Like it didn't have that little bend before. So I don't know. But it's not the knuckle. I can bend the knuckle. It's like the tip of the phalanges. So I don't know. We'll see. See if I go an x-ray. I go to my dentist and say, can you just x-ray my fingertip? Might be cheaper. I don't know. I'm just going to wrap it. I'm going to put like a little stick on it and wrap it. I just don't want to wear like a big brace. You know, like, look, I've got a giant brace. Pay attention to me. No, I don't really need that. I just have to not smash it on shit. So, all right. I will try and figure out how to get the pictures on here. I'm going to go through stuff tomorrow and kind of sort what's left over. And I'm going to try and maybe get a comprehensive list of things. I don't know. I might just put them on Facebook Marketplace and sell some stuff there. And then I might just have to do a flea market and tell people, hey, come by. And I'm going to have just open house of buy shit. I'll set up tables and just have people buy shit. And then, break something while you're there. Have a pile of glasses, be like, oh, here, buy this, and you can smash this glass against the wall to get that frustration out. That would be wonderful. Frustration breaking. I love frustration breaking. So, all right, that's it. I'm done. It's Saturday night. Go do something exciting or go to bed. I'm going to probably go to bed. I got up way too early again this morning. I've been watching Wayward, which is the show on Netflix, the limited series. Weird, creepy. I'm not sure what I don't know. It's just kind of one of those psychological things where I'm like, all right, it just is like, just kind of weird, creepy. I don't know, just one of these things. So we'll see. I don't know. Still always looking for good shows. And Stumptown, I actually got rid of cable or just did I just re-upped cable? I think I just got Spectrum back. I had a bunch of apps, so I think I'm gonna get rid of the apps, get Spectrum back. That'll get me Stumptown for free and some other things that I was having to pay extra for. And I'm like, screw this. As many apps as I have now, if I just get Spectrum, it has all those things and it costs about the same. Plus, it's my cable connection and everything else. It's all ridiculous, right? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for tonight. Any questions, comments, concerns? No? My hair's getting really long. I really have to get a haircut. It's all washed and clean. It smells nice. It's all soft and beautiful tonight because I had to wash it. That sucks too because trying to wash my hands with one hand. I'm like, I'll stop complaining. Just being grateful, as I said earlier yesterday and earlier today, that hey, look, you know what? I'm just grateful for the adventures I had during ski club with some friends that I'm still friends with. You know, a couple of the officers are still buddies with. You know, all these years later, just grateful that we had all the adventures we did with the radio station, and that was quite the time, to say the very least. And we'll continue. I'm not done having adventures. I refuse to. I will have misadventures. That is what my tombstone will read: death by misadventure. Promise. It will not be by something other than something ridiculous and stupid. Because that's the only way to go. Ridiculous and stupid. That's all, folks. Exactly. Appreciate you. Have a stupendous evening. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'll let you know how the day goes. And if I can, I'll get the connected computer and I'll share some pictures and God knows what else. So, be well. Thank you. Fade into black. I really need to meet this YouTube person. Must meet the YouTube person.